Hi Westwood, it's Mike Brodnick from the Board of Governors, and as promised, I brought Dave Peterson, who is running the Pool House Renovation Committee. Dave is also the head of the committees for the pool, tennis courts, and the fitness center. So when there's not court time available, or that machine you want to use in the fitness center isn't ready, call him. At the end of this, I'll give you his home phone number, his cell number, and his personal email address. All right, so
Thank
Dave,
you, Mike.
yeah, thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you taking the time. Let me just kind of ask a simple question. You know, I see all this stuff happening on the golf course, bulldozers. I've seen this handsome guy talking about things out there in the course. What about this? Where are we with this? It looks like nothing's happening.
Where we are from a permitting process, we're through the town of Vienna. We've gone through one round already through them. We received the Architecture Review Board approvals. We've gone through a peer review company that we use to help prepare us for Fairfax County, so hopefully the Fairfax County review will go smoother. We're through the peer review process. Right now, the plans are going back as we speak to Department of Health. They want to look at, make sure their changes that they recommended are rolled in. Once they approve that, it'll go back to the town of Vienna for final approval, then to Fairfax County. Once the county gets it, we expect 3 to 4 weeks. So right now, we're targeting end of September, first week of October to have the permitting process done and completed.
And then when do we choose the people who are actually going to do the work?
What we've done is that we put together a committee that has individuals or executive at building companies, large contractor companies, people who've been involved with the swim team, seen a lot of other area pools. We went out, we talked to probably around 6 to 8 different firms. 5 actually expressed interest. 4 submitted bids. Once we got the bids, we looked at them, we went back to each of them 2 times, different rounds of questions, asked for their best and final offer, completed all that, and we recently just selected our vendor. So we're down to our selected vendor and working with that company exclusive now going forward on the materials, colors, tile, everything on else.
All right, let me, before you go further, because I do want to hear more about this, but no offense, I know you, we're friends, you're a consultant, right? Not in the construction business, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Who is doing this, like who did the selections, who is involved in the permit, like you're not doing this yourself, right?
No. On the committee we have folks like Bob Rux, who works for a very large construction company, Bob Russ, who has his own home inspection building company. We're using an outside consultant, same consultant that we actually use for the golf course to help with their permitting process, knows the town of Vienna, knows Fairfax County, and the processes and procedures that they follow to help us with that. And we're using, like I said, this peer review company, which was a recommendation of this consultant. Use the peer review. Fairfax County, if they see that you've addressed all their comments, they feel a lot more comfortable when the plans get to them. They've gone through a peer review. So you're absolutely right. I'm relying on outside support.
No offense.
Help. Yes. Mike knows me too well.
Who else is on the committee? Because I think we hear about a lot about the golf course, and that's kind of more visible.
Right.
Who else is on that committee?
The committee members are the 2 Bobs, Bob Rux, and actually
I don't mean to
Elizabeth. Betsy Boswell, Kevin Callahan, Jim McLeish, and our 3rd Bob Hickey.
Okay, so folks who have been around the swim team for, it seems like decades to them, I'm sure.
Yes.
So we have a well-rounded group of people.
Right, and what they bring, they've been on the committee, and the fact that they've been around and on the swim team, they've seen what some other country clubs have done, and what's worked and what hasn't worked. So we have people who gone to Cardinal Hill, who've been to Riverbend, who've been to Fairfax, who've been to International, and they're bringing that perspective, what's worked, what hasn't, and we're kind of looking at, ones that are 10 years old, what problems are they having, so we avoid some of those mistakes.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, that's great. All right, so let me ask another question that I've been asked by people, and I think I've even made comments like, that's not the way it's going to look, that's just a computer. Can you tell me, so just if you could zoom in, this is the poster that sits down in the clubhouse, and the angle we're at is trying to be a similar angle of the current pool house. Can you just talk us through if this is what it's going to look like? I noticed there's stone here. There's maybe a little stone here. Are we going to see stone? Is this the look? Like, can you talk me through it?
Actually, this is the look with the plans that we're taking forward. Matter of fact, we met with the contractor today. They had different samples of the stone. The stone's going to go around the whole building, so it'll match up with the stone pillars that we have along the gates. And we're going to have the bar area, which I know is important to you, and you've asked me about already. That's going to be there.
not for me.
Not for you. I should have known better. You're asking on behalf of the other members.
No, not me.
Yes,
not
the bar will be there. The hardy plank. We've gone through different samples there. We're going to have the solid countertops, and if you think of the bathrooms today, where it's all the laminated and it's peeling up, it's going to be solid countertops, so we're not going to have those issues. We're starting to look at the different types of tile. What do we want to have for the floor and all the walls, and what would be some interesting configurations there. So this is pretty much what it's going to look like. The second deck, and we're going to have here. This will all be waterproof underneath. So if it rains, people can go underneath there. You can have your lunch underneath there. There will be a screened-in porch area over here as well. That's not depicted.
Great. Okay, I think that's great.
Yeah.
So this is what we should expect to see being built.
This is what we should expect to see. I mean, today we actually got him down to the railings on the top. The second floor, there's been a lot of questions about the second floor.
Yeah.
That is what it's going to look like. And the second floor, think of it, it's really going to be a multi-purpose room. So there could be teen events there.
All right, so yeah, you're stealing my thunder here. Okay. I was going to break in and ask that. Multi-purpose. I've heard people ask, are we going to have a teen center?
Right. This is going to actually be a multi-purpose room. It's not going to be exclusive to a teen center. There'll be different events that can be held up there. Kids could have, members may have their kids' birthday parties up there. They could have an anniversary party. We may have, when chances are we'll have teen events up there, but there's a kitchenette up there. There's another little area that can be made into a bar for events. There's men's and women's bathrooms upstairs there. There'll be an elevator that will provide access to that second floor. So, to be honest with you, it's a room. We're not 100% sure exactly what we have, so we don't want to limit our options at this point, because we think it's going to be a great facility to host other events.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to come back to the center here and come back to me. I'm going to say this very clearly, very loudly, and I'm going to practice on you, because I'm actually going to trick Matt White to get out on the chorus and answer these questions too. So again, the nice part about you not kind of being in the middle of a phase of construction that everybody's seeing is you probably don't get asked this very often, but I want to ask you, and I really want the straight answer is, are we on budget with this?
Okay. We are absolutely on budget.
Okay, so
we are fine. We're going through. We're in the negotiations process. One of the things that we're going to do to help control the budget, and the vendor we selected is fine with this. We're going to enter into a cost plus type contract where we'll know and see all the costs up front, and know, so it gives us flexibility on our side. From the vendor side, they have a not to exceed. So,
okay, great.
Yep.
And then timing. So we're into September before the permitting's done and the contractor's talking about it. How long does it take to do this? Is this going to be done in time for the opening of the pool next year?
When we first laid out the plans for this, we really were hoping to have the permitting process done by middle of September. So we're probably a couple of weeks behind that. But we had a lot of contingency built into the building phase. So our goal right now is we start work beginning of October, start doing the demolition inside, and that we will then have a soft opening, what we're calling a soft opening, first part of May, grand opening, Memorial Day 2012. Right. That was the original schedule. So.
I will be there.
Okay, good. I hope everybody else will be there too.
So before we finish, there's a section over here I see labeled the Dave Peterson Family Bungalow. I'll do everything in my power to get that taken off the plans. No chance, buddy. All right. Thank you, Westwood. You'll see me and Matt White next. We'll see you around the club.